जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद
जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद।
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा
जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंदा।
श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय।
जय
श्रील कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी की जय।
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय।
ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to Sri Chaitanya
Hare
Charitamrita.
Krishna Mataji. We are going to your Maika.
Sorry, you're going to
We are going to your Maika.
New Vrindavan. Very
Yes.
all the best. Thank you. So we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 2. This is a synopsis of the Antya Lila. So we saw so far that we saw what is the state of mind, or what is the state of consciousness of Mahaprabhu during the last 12 years of his earthly pastimes. He was in the mood of Srimati Radharani when Uddhava had gone to give the message of Krishna to the Vrajvasis. So what was the state of Srimati Radharani? She appeared like a mad person. She was talking to the bumblebees, she was talking to the trees, like that, chastising them. She appeared just like a mad person. That was exactly the condition of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during the last 12 years of his earthly pastimes. Now he was completely in that absorption. He was not in external consciousness at all. He was not aware of what was going on uh, outside. So we saw a few symptoms. That day and night, it was not like only during the day. In fact, at night, his state would become even more intense than during the day. Uh, he couldn't sleep even for one moment, and he would grind his teeth and his face against the wall out of separation from Krishna. And um, yeah, his talks were, all his activities were in forgetfulness of the external world, and his talks appeared like the talks in madness. Blood flowed from every pore on his skin. His teeth were loosened. In one moment, his body would become very slender, and in the next moment, it would expand. He stayed in Gambhira, which is a small room after the corridor in Jagannath Puri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a small very small room called Gambhira, and he used to stay in that room. But yeah, he wouldn't sleep. And because of grinding his face against the wall at night, there would be injuries all over his face. And just to protect him, the devotees would keep the 3 doors of his room locked, but still, somehow, nobody knew how, even though the 3 doors were locked, they would find him. Sometimes in the middle of the night, they would find him in front of Jagannath temple at Simhadwaram, fallen in in swoon. Or sometimes they would find him, fallen flat into in the sea. And then another thing is, there would be these sand dunes on the beach because of the winds from the sea. So the sand would get accumulated in the form of small mounds. And Mahaprabhu would see that not as a sand mound, sand dune, but he would see it as the Govardhan. And he would run full speed, very fast, across the sand dunes. So he was only seeing Vrindavan, he was only seeing Krishna everywhere. And he would also cry loudly, running. And because of this intense separation, he was constantly with Krishna in his meditation. When there is intense separation, he cannot but think of Krishna at every moment. Not just think, he was seeing Krishna everywhere. So that's how, in intense separation, he was actually experiencing union with Krishna. And he would see some parks in Jagannath Puri, and he would take them to be the groves of Vrindavan, and he would fall unconscious and he would dance and sing. So, and so many transformations of his body would take place because of his ecstasy. Just like Lord Jagannath's body is transformed, like his limbs, are withdrawn into the trunk of his body, right? His hands and legs are just withdrawn, and his face is expanded. His eyes are bulged out, big, and then he's smiling. These are the transformations. So, in Mahaprabhu's body, all transformations of ecstasy could be seen. The extraordinary transformations of the body due to transcendental feelings would never have been possible for anyone but the Lord. So that is also discussed. It's not possible in anyone except Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he is Srimati Radharani herself, who is the only proprietor of Mahabhava, the highest form of prema. Only she has that highest love. And now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna with that love. So therefore it's not possible to find all these transformations in anyone's body except in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body. Of course, you could see them in Srimati Radharani's body, but where will you see Srimati Radharani in this world? So this is the extreme mercy of Mahaprabhu. He's showing us that which cannot be seen in this world at all. Next, text 12. Hastapadera sandhi sabha vitasti pramane sandhi chhadi bhinna hoye charma rahe sthane. So what are the other transformations that we see in the body of Mahaprabhu? The joints of his hands and legs would sometimes become separated by 8 inches. So you see, we have joints, right? Like just like you have your hand and you have elbow. This is a joint. So this your arm, your upper arm and your this, right? Both are connected by this elbow, by this joint. They're connected. But for in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body, this part and the arm would be separated by 8 inches. Not just this elbow, but all joints in his body. In the joints, there would be 8 inches of space. You can imagine how elongated the body would become. This is one type of transformation that is seen in his body. The joints of his hands and legs would sometimes become separated by 8 inches. That's a lot, 8 inches. And they remained connected only by the skin. So you would see this loose skin in between wherever there are joints. हस्तपद शिर सब शरीर भीतरे प्रविष्ट होए कूर्म रूप देखिए प्रभु रे. Sometimes Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's hands, legs, and head would all enter within his body. So this is like Jagannath, except even his head would enter into his body. Yeah. His hands and legs entered into his body, but even his head would enter into his body, just like the withdrawn limbs of a tortoise. Yeah, that's the apt analogy. Like a tortoise, all the limbs and even the head are drawn, and all you can see is like a ball, right? Just the shell. So Mahaprabhu's body would become like that. No hands, no legs, no head, even, just you would see the trunk. This is one type of transformation. एई मत अद्भुत भाव शरीरे प्रकाश मने ते शुनियाता वाक्य हा हा hutasha. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to manifest wonderful ecstatic symptoms. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to manifest wonderful ecstatic symptoms. His mind appeared vacant, and there were only hopelessness and disappointment in his words. The other day, His Holiness Niranjan Maharaj was giving class on Gopashtami day, but this was not a Gopashtami class. He was giving a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam verse. We are in the third canto, first chapter. So he was talking about Vidura's position. So there, in that context, when Vidura went on pilgrimage, wherever he went, whichever temple he went to, he was only seeing his Ishtadev Murti in his heart. So in that context, Maharaj was quoting Gopakumar, right? So Gopakumar went to different realms, but he was always looking for his Ishtadev. And uh, because he got this mantra from his guru's name was Jayanta, and Jayanta had given him this mantra, and he said, if you chant this mantra, you will get your ultimate destination. He actually, along with the mantra, he gave the blessing that may you not be satisfied by anything less than what is your ultimate destination, and may you actually achieve it by the sincere chanting of this mantra, like that. So he went to different places. So first he saw Shaligram Shila. That is the so. And who is the Lord? He said the Lord of the universe. That's all. The Lord of the universe. Now the Lord of the universe can be seen as the Vishwarup form, or you can see him as Lord Ramchandra. You can see him as Lord Narayan. You can see him as Krishna in Dwaraka, or you can see him as Krishna in Vrindavan. But with this mantra, actually the spiritual master had given him connection to Madan Gopal, Krishna and Vrindavan within his heart. So by chanting this mantra sincerely, Gopakumar would feel reciprocation from Krishna in his heart. And he is searching for that Krishna wherever he went. So wherever he went, although even he went to Vaikuntha, he went to Ayodhya, he went to Dwaraka. What to speak of, he went to in the Swarga, Indra, where Indra was there, and he went to a kingdom where there was a king, and one Brahmana was worshipping Shaligram Shila. But although he didn't reject wherever he went, and he appreciated, but still whatever he was seeing, it was not exactly what he was experiencing in his heart. So there was something lacking. So that lacking made him morose. He became sad. And then he was guided further on, like Narad Muni was guiding him, and like that. Each place where even that Brahmana was guiding him. So they sent him to a higher, that go to the next destination. This is not for you. Go higher and higher. So finally, when he went to Dwarka in the spiritual world, and even there, when he was not satisfied fully, then Uddhava was there in Dwarka and Narad Muni was also there. So they sent him back to Mathura in this world. So from spiritual world Dwaraka, he came back to Mathura in this world. And while he was in Mathura, he was in the groves of, Vrindavan, and he was always sad in his heart. He was always, feeling depressed, and he was thinking that I'm going on this journey. Am I actually on the right journey? Right? Is this some kind of distress, that you feel in this material world, right? That disappointment. But at the same time, or is this the highest ecstasy that I'm experiencing? Because there was this sweetness also in that separation, but there was so much suffering. He was not able to figure out. He was actually in grief, in distress, but that was the highest ecstasy. That's what I was trying to tell you here. And of course, finally he gets darshan of Krishna, and then Krishna disappears, and then he gets, he, because Krishna, he disappeared, he lost Krishna, he fainted. This Gopakumar, he faints and falls in the river Yamuna, and he gets carried, pulled by the current of Yamuna. And then he just notices in that swoon, he just notices he's being carried in some airplane again through all these, the Vaikuntha and Ayodhya and Dwaraka, and finally he reaches in one particular place where he saw there were all these people, and they were experiencing something which he had never seen before. They were all feeling great separation. He didn't see that in any of the places before. So he wondered what's going on. He asked, who is the king here? And then nobody was able to speak because they were experiencing great separation. So he was in Mathura, in Goloka. And what he was experiencing, they were experiencing separation from Krishna. Why? So first of all, he heard that Kamsa, he's a very cruel king. He got this news there. So in the spiritual world, you hear about the demons and about Kamsa, but you don't actually see them. But that fear and that he's there, they may come. That is there. So he heard, Kamsa, he may come and take away Krishna, and he sends these demons like that. He's a very tyrannical king like that. So then very quickly, when he was in Mathura first, so very quickly he left Mathura because he was also afraid. Gopakumar also experienced that fear. Oh, Kamsa may come. So he quickly left and he went to Vrindavan. So there, while there, he saw all these people were experiencing something which he had never seen. They were experiencing this separation. So he asked, who is the king here? And nobody was answering because they were in such separation. What was their separation? Krishna had gone to herd the cows and he would not come back in the evening. So they were feeling great separation in Vrindavan, waiting for Krishna. Finally, one person managed to tell him that the king here is Nanda Maharaj. So when Gopakumar heard that, oh, the king here is Nanda Maharaj, then he became, oh, that I have come to my destination, right? He was in ecstasy. He actually, it is said that he actually fainted in great joy, and that person, rubbed off the dust from his body and, helped him come back to consciousness. Then he saw everyone was standing uh, on the, it was time for Krishna to return, and everyone was looking in, it's like towards in the far distance, and there were these clouds of dust raised by the hooves of the cows. And then he saw all the cows coming, and behind his Madan Gopal, Krishna was coming. So this was the perfection of Gopakumar's search, his journey. So anyway, finally Krishna comes, and Krishna crossed the cows. At one point, he came ahead of the cows, and Gopakumar wondered, where is Krishna going? Why is he, it seems like he's going somewhere. He just, went ahead of the cows, and then So he wondered, where's Krishna going? And he saw Krishna was coming towards him. And Krishna was telling his friends, this is my friend. I forget the name now. His name is something, starts with S. Something like SRNT. I don't know exactly what that name is, but anyway, I'll tell you again later. But he said, this is my friend. He'd been, waiting for me all this time. He'd been searching for me. He's back. And Krishna was telling his friends and running towards Gopakumar. And Gopakumar, when he saw Krishna coming towards him, he just fainted. And Krishna also fainted. So the point here is this separation is great suffering, actually. But that suffering is actually the highest ecstasy. But the person who's going through that ecstasy, he's all confused. He does not realize what it is. He doesn't realize if it is happiness or if it is distress. And he actually becomes dejected. He becomes dejected. Am I doing the right thing? Why I'm feeling like this, like that? So here we see the state of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His mind appeared vacant, right? Ashlishyava, no, what is the Shunyayitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahe. The whole world appears vacant to this devotee. This is the ecstasy of separation. His mind appeared vacant, and there were only hopelessness and disappointment in his words. This is the ecstasy. His mind was vacant, and you could only see hopelessness in his words and disappointment. कहाँ मोर प्राणनाथ मुरली वदना कहाँ करो कहाँ पान ब्रजेंद्र नंदना. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to express his mind in this way. Where is the Lord of my life, who is playing his flute? What shall I do now? Where should I go to find the son of Maharaj Nanda? So Srila Prabhupada often says, quoting the six Goswamis, when one is actually advanced, he never feels that now I'm seeing Krishna, I'm hearing Krishna, I'm actually in ecstasy, right? Sometimes, not sometimes, actually, when we are in a neophyte stage, we feel that I am advanced in Krishna consciousness because I'm feeling this or that. But the fact is, the reality is, Srila Prabhupada says, when one is actually an advanced devotee, you will see he's always looking for Krishna. His consciousness is constantly looking for Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada quotes the Shad Goswami Ashtakam. He Radhe Vrajadevike Lalite He Nanda Suno Kutaha. Where are you? Oh Krishna, oh Srimati Radharani, where are you? Are you on Govardhan Hill? Are you on Vamsivat? Are you on the banks of river Yamuna? Are you on the Kadamba tree, under the Kadamba tree? Where are you? And in this way, like madmen, they were running. Ghoshantaviti sarvato vrajapure kedair mahavihavalau. In great separation, in great distress, running like madmen, they're calling out, where is Krishna? Where is Radharani? They are never thinking that I experience Radharani and Krishna in my heart. No, Sahajiyas do that. Sahajiyas do that. That now I'm in bhava of the gopis and I'm dancing. That is Sahajiyas means they don't have it, but they imagine that they have it. Actually, they don't have it. Those who actually have it, this is the condition, like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are in constant distress looking. I don't see Krishna. I don't find Krishna. This is actually a very high state of prema. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to express his mind in this way. Where is the Lord of my life? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he came back from, he went to um, Gaya, right? From there, when he came back to Navadvip, his state was, Sachimata was completely beside herself seeing the condition of Mahaprabhu. He was always, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Right? And then when Gadadhar Pandit said, Krishna is in your heart, and then he started to rip his chest to see Krishna because he really wanted to see Krishna. He was not seeing Krishna. So always the sign that somebody is actually advancing in Krishna consciousness means uh, you're always looking for Krishna, like that. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to express his mind in this way. Where is the Lord of my life who is playing his flute? What shall I do now? Where should I go to find the son of Maharaj Nanda? Kahare kahibo keba jane mora dukha Vrajendra Nandana vinu phate mora buka. To whom should I speak? Who can understand my disappointment? Without the son of Nanda Maharaj, my heart is broken. Right? Like this. Where is Krishna? Where can I find him? And who can I express my pain to? Who will understand my pain? Without Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, my heart is broken. Who can help me find Krishna? And who can understand my condition and who can pacify me? E mata vilapa kore vihvala antara rayera nataka shloka pode nirantara. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always expressed bewilderment and lamented in separation from Krishna. Right? He expressed bewilderment. Right? Anyone who would see him, they would think, like he was bewildered. It appeared like he was bewildered. And he was lamenting all the time. So, in this way, Mahaprabhu expressed bewilderment. Always he expressed bewilderment and lamented in separation from Krishna. At such times, he used to recite the shlokas from Ramananda Rai's drama known as Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. So, to pacify him, he would recite the shlokas. To pacify himself, he would recite the shlokas from Ramananda Rai's drama called Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. Actually, that's the only way, right? When Mahaprabhu, whenever he would go into ecstasy, the devotees also, prior to this, they would just chant the names of the Lord loudly. And at this time, Swarup Damodar Goswami would sing from, some songs about Krishna, which would pacify Mahaprabhu. That was the only way to pacify him, hearing about Krishna. Because we saw earlier also it was said that um, when there is separation, this also comes in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Balaramji went to meet with the Brajvasis in Vrindavan, they were all feeling great. The gopis were experiencing great separation from Krishna. They were so morose, so dejected in separation from Krishna. So, how did they pacify themselves? Or how did Balaramji pacify? By talking about Krishna. So when you talk about Krishna, when you hear about Krishna, when you're experiencing separation and you hear about the qualities of Krishna, because Krishna and his holy names, his pastimes, they're not different. He's absolute. So by that, immediately you are once again uniting with Krishna. When you're experiencing great separation, at that time, if you hear about Krishna, if you hear his names, or if you chant his names, then once immediately you get connected with Krishna. So Mahaprabhu himself would recite the shlokas of Ramananda Rai's Jagannath Vallabha Nataka. I'm trying to see the meter here. प्रेमच्छेदरुजो वगच्छति हरिर्नायं न च प्रेम वा स्थानास्थानमवैति नापि मदनो जानाति नो दुर्बलाः अन्यो वेद न चान्यदुःखमखिलं नो जीवनं वाश्रवम् द्वित्राण्येव दिनानि यौवनमिदं हा हा विधे का गतिः. So this is from Jagannath Vallabha Nataka of Ramananda Rai. Srimati Radharani used to lament, our Krishna does not realize what we have suffered from injuries inflicted in the course of loving affairs. Our Krishna does not realize what we have suffered from injuries inflicted in the course of loving affairs. We are actually misused by love because love does not know where to strike and where not to strike. Even Cupid does not know of our very much weakened condition. What should I tell anyone? No one can understand another's difficulties. Our life is actually not under our control. For youth will remain for 2 or 3 days and soon be finished. In this condition, O Creator, what will be our destination? So this is a verse from Ramananda Rai's Jagannath Vallabha Nataka, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in great separation from Krishna, would recite shlokas like this. I'm thinking what's the meter for this. उपजिला प्रेमांकुरा भांगिला ये दुख पुरा कृष्णतः नाही करे पाना बाहिरे नागर राजा भीतरे शाठेरा काजा पर नारी वधे सावधाना. Srimati Radharani spoke thus in distress due to separation from Krishna. Oh, what shall I say of my distress? After I met Krishna, my loving propensities sprouted, but upon separating from him, I sustained a great shock, which is now continuing like the sufferings of a disease. The only physician for this disease is Krishna himself, but he is not taking care of this sprouting plant of devotional service. What can I say about the behavior of Krishna? Outwardly, he is a very attractive young lover, but at heart, he is a great cheat, very expert in killing others' wives. So we will stop here. So these were the verses from Sri Jagannath Vallabha Nataka that were recited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was experiencing great separation from Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.